Now, was it some of the tribes back then when Yahawashi was on the scene? Yes. But the bulk of the tribe came on this side, okay? When you read in the Apocrypha, they left from on the other side of the Middle East. The majority of the tribe, the 10 tribes, okay? They left, they came on this side. But you did have some of them that stayed back, okay? But that woman there, dissecting what's going on and going and looking at the detail of the scriptures, hey, Yahawashi not fooling with her. And she ain't no Ephraimite. Go ahead. Concerning Judah. Look up the word Judah. Just read all the definitions, bro.
It's got a couple of them.
Okay, let me see what you got.
Yeah, it's got this one, the first one.
Just read that. Just read that.
It has other ones. This is Strong's G 2453. Euodias, and it says Jewish belonging to the Jewish nation, Jewish as respects to birth, origin, religion.
Okay, that's all we wanted about it, right? So read that for me again.
This is John chapter 4, verse 22. Say, ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
So, and the definition is what?
It says, Jewish belonging to the Jewish nation.
So, that's one tribe. Tribe of Judah, Yahweh.
And
okay?
If I go to the second one, which this one was the one I was going to go to originally. This is Strong's G 2448.
Strong's G 2448.
Judah. And
Yeah.
it says the tribe that were the offspring of Judah.
See, that's one tribe. But you got 12 tribes. So he's talking to her, right? And he's telling her salvation is of the Jews. That's just one tribe. Yahawashi, when you read the 3rd chapter of John, Yahawashi had the full measure. So he knew, okay, concerning about the other tribe. Okay? Paul was of the tribe of Benjamin. And Paul was chosen by Yahawashi. So he's just talking to her. He's just telling her, look, salvation of the Jews. You know what I'm saying? He was having a conversation with her. But to prove that he knew that salvation was for the other Israelites, give me what you got. Right there, read that from me again.
It's John chapter 4, verse 22. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
Now, give me John 10 and John 10 and 16, 14. Start at 14. But the key is in 16. We're going to start in John 10 and 14, but the key is in 16. Go ahead, bro.
All right, this is John chapter 10, verse 14. I am the good shepherd and know my sheep, and I know of mine.
See? So he knew. And she was not of that sheepfold. He knew. Go ahead.
As the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father.
See? So he's writing it down, Mike. The Father know him, and he know the Father. Which that woman didn't have a clue who he was or the Father. She just noticed he was a prophet. Go ahead.
And I laid down my life for the sheep. And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold.
So Yahawashi will protect his sheep. Did he give her the water of salvation? No protection. Go ahead.
Them also I must bring.
He said, what again? Read that again.
Says, and other sheep I have, which are not of this fold.
So he already knew that salvation was for the 10 tribes. He already knew that. And he know his sheep. Go ahead.
Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold.
See that? Go ahead.
And one shepherd.
See that? It's a morning.
It says, therefore doth my Father love me, because I laid down my life, that I might take it again.
See that? You see what you got right there? So he knew. He knew about the 10 tribes. He knew salvation was for them. It wasn't just for the Jews. He knew that. But if she would have knew the Father, and she would have knew him, she would have got that living water. She didn't know. She didn't have a clue. She wasn't no Israelite, man. Okay? Now, go back to John. Now, we're going to finish start at, what we at 17?
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
Okay. Continue on. Now, watch this here. This is the rest of the conversation. Go ahead.
So this is John chapter 4, verse 17. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Yahawashi said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband.
Go ahead.
For thou hast had 5 husbands, and he who thou now hast is not thy husband.
She ain't learned nothing. 5 husbands, you don't know nothing. Go ahead.
In that saidst thou truly. The woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet.
I know this. I understand. Okay? You done ran down my history, and I ain't learned nothing. You see? Go ahead.
Our father worshiped in this mountain,
She keep going back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship.
Now, that's key. What verse is that?
20.
Remember that. Verse 20. Go ahead.
Yahawashi said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father.
He told her in that mountain, what she was at, what she was talking about, or in Jerusalem. You out of there. Go ahead.
Ye worship ye know not what.
The reason why he was saying that, because he know the history. He knew what took place in Samaria. Now let's get 2 Kings, the 17th chapter. 2 Kings, the 17th chapter. And this is why she was saying the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. Okay? When you read that chapter. And this is why Yahawashi was telling them, look, you don't even know what you worship. Go ahead. Start at the top.
This is 2 Kings chapter 7, verse 1. In the 20th year of Azar, king of Judah, began Hoshea, the son of Elah, that reigned to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years.
Go ahead.
And he did that which was evil in the sight of Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi, but not as the king of Israel that were before him.
Go ahead.
Against him came up Shamir,
Go ahead.
king of Assyria, and Hoshea became his servant and gave him presents. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy and Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to So, king of Egypt, and brought no presents to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year.
See, that's Jake going to them heathens trying to get allies for protection instead of going to YAHAWASHI. See? You see? That's the northern kingdom. It's Israel trying to go to Egypt and trying to get protection from them heathens instead of protection from YAHAWASHI. Go ahead.
It says, sent messengers to So, king of Egypt, and brought no presents to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year.
Go ahead.
Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years.
3 years. Besieged it. Lockdown. Go ahead.
In the 9th year, Hoshea, the king of Assyria, took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria.
So Israel going to slavery. That's the northern kingdom. From Ephraim on down to Issachar. Okay, go ahead.
And placed him in Halah and Habor by the river of Gaza, and in the city of the Medes.
So
the Medes.
So they were no longer in Samaria. They went into slavery. Okay? Go ahead.
For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against YAHAWASHI, their power, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt.
See? So that's the northern kingdom. That ain't the southern kingdom. We dealing with the northern kingdom. Okay? That was in Samaria. And Ephraim was the head of what? The northern kingdom, and that was in Samaria. Okay? Because we read that in what? Isaiah 7 and 9, right? Go ahead.
From under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had feared other gods. So
you got to remember, the northern kingdom is sending gifts to Egypt to get protection, and the Most High had delivered them from Egypt in history. You see Jacob. You see what Jacob is doing. But they ain't going to YAHAWASHI. They ain't going to Yahweh. You see what Jacob is doing? See the mind state that they in? Go ahead.
It says, for so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against YAHAWASHI, their power.
So they went against the Most High, and they going to other nations for protection. Go ahead.
Which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt, from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
Let me change this battery. Okay, we back. The camera had cut off. Battery was about to go dead. So all right, go ahead. Call it ready.
All right, this is 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 7. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against YAHAWASHI, their power, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt, from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had feared other gods.
What? They had what?
Feared other gods.
So that's the northern kingdom. See? Go ahead.
And walked in the statutes of the heathen.
See? Go ahead.
Whom YAHAWASHI cast them out from before the children of Israel.
Go ahead.
And of the kings of Israel which they had made. It says, and the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against YAHAWASHI, their power.
Like the both sides of the sea. Right. See that? Same way today. They think the Most High can't see what they doing today. They think whatever they doing is dead. Or, yeah, no, we out here teaching, right? And they might see us, come up on them, and then they'll try to straighten up like a board. You know what I'm saying? As if the Most High had been monitoring the whole time, whatever they got going on in their life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For the eyes of men, but not the Most High, His Son. Go ahead, bro.
And they built them high places in all their cities.
That's what was in Samaria. That's why the southern kingdom was like, shh, we ain't fooling with y'all.
Right.
And that's why YAHAWASHI was like, you don't even know what you worship, because that's what was in Samaria. Go ahead.
From the tower of the watchmen to the fenced city. And they set them up images and grooves in every hill and under every green tree.
So that's what was in Samaria, man. That's why she was talking like that. The Jews have no dealing with Samaria. And that's why YAHAWASHI was like, you don't even know what you worship.
Right.
You got all this mess in Samaria.
Right.
All these idols. Go ahead.
And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen, whom YAHAWASHI carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke YAHAWASHI to anger.
Go ahead.
For they served idols, wherefore the YAHAWASHI had said unto them, ye shall not do this thing. This thing. And that's what in Exodus 20th chapter.
Go ahead.
It says, let YAHAWASHI testify against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, turn ye from the evil ways and keep my commandments and my statutes according to all the law which I commanded your fathers and which I sent to you by my servants the prophets.
Go ahead.
Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but hardened their necks like to the neck of their fathers, that did not believe in YAHAWASHI their power. And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimony which testified against them.
Go ahead.
And they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom YAHAWASHI had charged them, that they should not do like them. And they left all commandments of YAHAWASHI their power, and made them molded images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshipped all the host of heaven, and served Baal.
See, so all this is going on before YAHAWASHI even come up on the scene. All this is going on before John the 4th chapter. Okay? Go ahead, bro.
And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and used divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of YAHAWASHI to provoke him to anger.
Okay, go ahead.
Therefore YAHAWASHI was very angry with Israel, and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
There was none left but the tribe of Judah only in Samaria. Okay? Now, when you read the New Testament, you got Israelites of the northern kingdom still around, but they out of there. You know what I'm saying? It said none left. In the scriptures say none left of the northern kingdom in Samaria. Go ahead.
It says, also Judah kept not the commandments of YAHAWASHI their power.
Even the southern kingdom start going off. Go ahead.
But walked in the statutes of Israel which they made.
So the king of Assyria could not get Judah. Okay, the southern kingdom. The Babylonians was going to get them. But the king of Assyria was able to get the northern kingdom. Go ahead.
It says, and YAHAWASHI rejected all the seed of Israel.
That's the northern kingdom. That's what it's saying, because of what they were doing. But he didn't reject them to where they weren't going to receive salvation.
Right.
Okay? They were rejected enough to where they were going to go in slavery. He wasn't going to deliver them out of that slavery.
Right.
Go ahead.
And afflicted them and delivered them unto the hand of spoilers, unto the hand of until he had cast them out of his sight.
See, out of that land. They was out of there. Go ahead.
For he rent Israel from the house of David, and they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king, and Jeroboam drave Israel from following YAHAWASHI and made them sin a great sin.
Go ahead.
For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, and which he did, they departed not from them, until YAHAWASHI removed Israel out of his sight.
They out of that land. They out of there. Go ahead.
And just to prove that it was the 10, you know what I'm saying, the 10 tribes of Israel, they can read what, 1 Kings? Yeah. 1 Kings, the 16th chapter.
Yeah.
Verse 28 right there to tell you how 10 would be going to the first king of Jeroboam was like the first king of.
You got it, bro.
Man, it slipped my mind.
You gotta remember, bro. You teaching Jake, you gotta remember, bro. You see? But you can go over there and look.
Yes,
But you gotta remember, man, that's part of it, man. Teaching Jake, you bring something up. Jake won't know what you're talking about, man. But you gotta show Jake, man. It's never
like
too late to go look.
Yeah, so like it's 1 Kings, the 13th chapter. So like I said, the 16th chapter, and it's 1 Kings, the 11th chapter. I got a little excited.
Hold on.
Yeah, I got excited.
16, you said 13. Which one is it, brother?
I got excited.
Which one is it?
It's 1 Kings, the 11th chapter.
Okay.
From verse 28 on down to like 40. You know what I'm saying?
What's the king name you trying to remember?
Jeroboam.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So like,
all right.
Yeah, I got it.
So it's 1 Kings 11.
11th chapter.
Okay, all right.
Verse 28 through 40.
All right, brother.
Yeah, I got to like about that. I got excited. Okay. This is back in 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 23. Until the Lord YAHAWASHI removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants the prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day.
They're gone. They was not able to rebuild. But them idols was there. Okay, go ahead.
It says, and the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon.
Brought men from Babylon. Now, he said the king of Assyria. Now, what he's going to do is bring heathen nations in there. Israel is out of there. Okay? The northern kingdom is out of there. They ain't in Samaria. So, still got the idols there. He's going to bring, the king of Assyria is going to bring heathens and put in that land. Go ahead.
So, verse 24. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Cutan, and from Ava, and from Hamath, and from this is a tongue twister. Sephorian.
Okay.
And placed them in the city of Samaria instead of the children of Israel.
So they ain't there. So now you got idols there, and you got heathens there. Now, remember, this is John the 4th chapter having even taken place yet. This ain't, YAHAWASHI ain't even on the scene. But this is what's going on before YAHAWASHI come up on the scene. Okay? Northern kingdom gone. You got heathens in that now. Idols in that now. Judah's still around. Go ahead.
It said, and placed them in the city of Samaria instead of the children of Israel.
Go ahead.
And they possessed Samaria.
And they possessed Samaria. The heathens and the king and the Syrians possessed. It's over with. Go ahead.
And dwelt in the city thereof. And so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there, that they feared not YAHAWAH SHAM YAHUSHI.
So they weren't keeping the law. Go ahead.
Therefore YAHAWAH SHAM YAHUSHI sent lions among them, which slew some of them. Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nations which thou hast removed and placed in the cities of Samaria know not the manner of the power of the land. Therefore he had sent lions among them, and behold, they slayed them.
So, knowing their history, right? Knowing their history, right? Knowing their history, right? As you know, today you got the gutter rats in that lane. That's why they catching all that hell being in that lane. That's why the so-called Jews, which not the chosen people, that's why they catching all that hell being in that land, man, over there. If you watch the news concerning what's going on in Israel,
Right.
they ain't living peacefully.
Right.
They catching hell over there being in that land. Okay? And that's the reason why they not keeping the code. They don't know the Heavenly Father and something like that. Okay, go ahead.
Because they know not the manner of the power of the land.
Go ahead.
Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom ye brought from thence, and let them go and dwell there, and let him teach them the manner of the Most High of the land. Then one of the priests whom they had carried away from Samaria came and dwelt in Bethel, and taught them how they should fear YAHAWAH SHAM YAHUSHI.
So you had a Levite going there and teaching, right? This morning.
That was it in that particular scripture.
So my reason for reading this chapter is to let you know that the northern kingdom is gone. You got heathens in there now. Okay? And you got idols in there now. This is way before John the 4th chapter. Okay? Way before that. Okay? Alright. So let's go back to John the 4th chapter. Now, just because he was teaching them the law, does that make them Israelites? No. Because when you read Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, yeah, we're going to teach the other nations the law, but that don't mean that they're Israelites. You see what I'm saying? That don't mean that they're Israelites, man. Okay, so we're going back to John, right?
And this is back in John chapter 4, and I'll start back in 22. It says, ye worship ye not know what? We know what we worship.
Because the heathen was in there and there was idols in there. But you did have Israelites in there. Okay? But how IUIC got that woman was from Ephraim, I don't have a clue. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where they got that from. Because it ain't telling you in Isaiah 79 that she's of the tribe of Ephraim. Right. Okay? Go ahead. And she didn't even have faith. Isaiah 79 is basically telling you got to have faith to be established. Go ahead.
For salvation is of the Jews. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth.
So he's telling you ain't even no true worship. And Yahawashi knew who his fruit was because we read it in what? John the 10th chapter. See? And the 14th verse on down. So he knew who his sheep was. He knew. And then we read on down that chapter and said, look, I have sheep that's not of this fold. That's talking about another tribe. See? Go ahead.
For the Father seeketh such to worship him. The Most High is a spirit, that they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
Now, people will read that and say, the Heavenly Father ain't got no body.
Right.
But the reason why Yahawashi is saying that, if you understand the conversation, what did the woman say concerning worshiping the Heavenly Father? Oh, you say that you're supposed to worship him in Jerusalem, and we're supposed to worship him in this mount in Samaria. That's why he's saying what he's saying right there. And read verse 20.
This is John chapter 4, verse 20. Our fathers worship in this mountain.
See?
And ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship.
See? So he addressing that down there. Okay? So drop that and jump down there where you was.
All right, this is verse 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. The Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
So it's how you worship him, and you can be born anywhere in the world. Yahawashi is all over. Okay? They all powerful, man. The Heavenly Father is all powerful, and his Son is all powerful, man. You see? You can't get around it, man. But he's talking about the Heavenly Father there. Okay? Nobody is above. Only person that's above Yahweh is nobody. Only person that's above Yahawashi is his Father. They all powerful, man. You can't get around them, man. Okay? They can do things that mankind cannot do on this earth, man. You see? That's why I'm saying the Son is all powerful, man. They can do things that mankind cannot do on this earth, man. You see? But read that from me again.
All right, this is John chapter 4, verse 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth.